Hey, admins, how we doing out there? Video's coming a little late because of the 4th of July holiday. I'm still down in Orlando, but coming back home very soon. Um, First thing I would like to do is congratulate those 13 lodges from Indiana that got Premier Lodges awards this past week. Um, they were well deserved. I'd like to see those numbers higher, which we'll be working on that in the near future. There's going to be some big changes coming in the Moose. Not as big as one Moose per se or anything like that, but there's going to be some changes in training and some changes in the association in Indiana for the way some things are going to be done. So that'll be interesting, but I won't get into those right now. Excuse me. Um, Basically, the only thing I'm going to cover today is reminding all the lodges that you need to get your Moose of the Year in by this Friday, July 8th. And there's a time on that, 5 p.m. So make sure that's Eastern time. So by 5 p.m. Friday, you have to have your Moose of the Year put into LCL. It's very simple to do, and all lodges are required to do it, and it is a requirement for a Premier Lodge Award also. Um, Also, when I get back home, I'm going to be looking at lodges that don't have their enough officers that have had their lodge leadership training and are not qualified to be officers. If the lodge does not have enough to hold a official quorum, the social cores will be shut down until that is corrected, and there will be a sign on the door stating the exact reason why. That the lodge officers did not take their required training. You as an officer will have to explain to your membership why you didn't do your training and why the social course has to be closed down. Enough trained officers is not just a Moose International rule. That is an IRS rule. You must be qualified and you must have enough to hold an official meeting. So we're going to be very serious on this when I get back home. The last thing I'm going to hit on is we're in the middle of summer, so we're in the middle of 990 times. You've had since May 1st to start them. As a reminder, you must send a copy to the 990 chairperson, Rusty Shields. His email is on the state officers list. He is saying this time he will take just the electronic confirmation number because his only duty, he wants to make sure they're being sent out. So he's not as worried about, he doesn't actually go through each 990 and see if they're correct or not. That's an informational document. So he's not looking through all that information. He's just making sure it's being sent. So like we've already been preaching a little bit, since everything has to be filed electronically now, there should be a confirmation number when that is sent. And even if you have a CPA doing that 990, they should be giving you that confirmation number and probably printing that sheet up so that they know it's been sent. Excuse me. On that lines, all lodges, we suggest that you use a CPA to file that. It's not a requirement, though, especially if you're a small lodge and you use the easy form or something like that. Also, I'll send again in this email that's going out the link to an electronic site that if the lodge wants to do the filing themselves, again, it has to be done electronically. And it's a pretty cheap site. The site works pretty well. Again, one side note, though, Moose International is not specifically endorsing this site that I'm sending you. I know a few lodges that have used it in Indiana and like it. It works pretty easily. It lets you know if you made mistakes. It kind of shows you where the mistakes were at. But again, we don't endorse that. So we prefer you use a CPA, but that's perfectly fine if you're a small lodge and don't. But if you're a larger lodge or have to use the long form and don't know what you're doing, please use a CPA so it's done right. Hey, and I even kept it at 4.5 minutes today. You guys have a good week. You'll be hearing much more information from me in the communications to follow, but right now I'm going to be focusing on lodges that don't have enough qualified officers and Moose of the Year this week. Thank you. You guys have a good day. Bye.